Hey, this is your host, Bonte83 for Successful Convicts, and I got something new for you today. Stories from the pen. Don't miss out. Stick around. Hey, it's your boy Bonte83 for Successful Convicts, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave me a comment of what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you don't want to hear, what you do want to hear. But leave me a comment because I truly want to know what you want to know. So I'm going to try something new because I see no matter how positive and success minded you are, people want to know what's up with prison. They want to know what's up with jail without having to go to prison, without having to go to jail. So, what do you guys want to hear most? You want to hear stories from the pen. So that's my new segment, Stories from the Pen. Okay, so in this first Stories from the Pen, here I am. First day in the pen. Now, if you don't know the process of going to the pen, it's not like you get found guilty and bam, you go to the pen. It's not like on TV. You get found guilty or you get convicted or you get even accused of a crime. You go to court. Of course, you lose because that's the only way you're going to go to prison. And you go back to the jail cell and then they cart you on a bus to prison. It's not that smooth. Sometimes you can sit up in jail for up to like 10 years. I know I'm from Chicago, so in Cook County, they got divisions where people sit up in there fighting cases. I mean, you might be fighting a murder case or something like that, and you can fight up to 10 years. You know, people in there fighting cases for years, like literally you've been in jail fighting this case. You don't even know how much time you got for years. Now, think about it. You got a place where you got all the people. Well, I'm not going to say all because some people get a small enough sentence where they just it's not even worth the city or the state or whatever sending them to prison because it costs. Everything costs. It's not even worth them sending them to prison because they got so little time. By the time they get through with all the processing, they'll be getting let out. So therefore, they do all their time in jail. And a lot of times those be the trustees. Those be the people that work in the, I know up here they call it, was it Uber? I can't remember, but it's the little part where you're not even housed in the same section. You kind of like it's kind of like almost like a shelter, a halfway house, and you go there and then in the morning you go to work. You go work in the town or whatever because it's most of these small towns up here in Minnesota. But anyway, so you get charged with a crime. You go through all the court processes, you know what I'm saying? You finally go to trial or you plead guilty. Then you go to what's called sentencing. Sentencing is when you're given the amount of time that you're going to have to do. So now you go to sentencing and you get sentenced. Then you get in that process to get on that bus to go to prison. So during this time, you know, a lot of things are going, unless you've been to prison numerous of times or even one time, you already know what it's like. But I can't speak for everybody, but, you know, on my first ride, like going to that prison, and of course, me never having been to prison, thinking about what I've seen on TV all these years, and, you know, you get a little like butterflies in your stomach. It's like anxiety. You anxious. You don't know, you know, if it's going to be bad, if it's going to be good, you know what I mean? And I'm coming from a perspective of my paperwork good. You know, I went to trial, didn't snitch on nobody. You know, I got my time. You know, I wasn't in there I was in there for drugs, conspiracy with the intent to distribute, and possession with the intent to distribute. Federal prison, which is different from state prison, but it's just the unexpected. You don't know what to expect. And then, coming from Chicago with the gang ties, a lot of times you get caught up in that. No matter where you're from with the gang ties, you go and you got to link up with the gang you in, or if you want to choose to go in there, not on the gang you in, you want to just go as a neutral, you don't want to be a part of that no more, or whatever. It's just all this anticipation, like what's going to happen, because you enter in another world. This is another world. Prison is another world. That's why, like, a lot of times, I don't know if you ever interacted with somebody who came home from prison, especially if they came home from prison during a long stretch. They coming from a different world. A lot of things they do, a lot of things they say, their mannerisms, that code of conduct even, is just different because they're coming from that prison world. The prison world is like no other world. And I can see how people can be, enthused with that. People want to know without having to go. So that's why you have channels like Successful Convicts. That's why you have channels like Big Lance Off the Yard. That's why you have channels like Fresh Out of Prison series and the 23-1 lockdown. And you got all these different prison channels that's people giving you their perspective from their experience. And that's what I'm starting to see. People want to hear about that experience. But like I said before, the biggest experiences it seems like people want to know about are the bad ones. The razor slashings, the stabbings, the rapes, the people getting their blocks knocked off, the, like Big Hurt say, the cheek bust and stuff like that. So every now and then, I'm going to try to hit y'all with a story. Now, granted, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't in a terrible type of atmosphere where you were seeing that type of stuff, all that stuff, but it goes down, and when you don't know how to conduct yourself, it can go down and you can be the shareholder of that story on the bad end of it. Anyway, so my first day on the yard, so it was me and this guy. We was going through the reception period at the same time. We was going from county to county jail. We had both been to sentencing because, like I said, it's about money. So what they going to try to do is when they sending people to the prisons, they're going to try to send a group because it costs, transportation costs, all that. So me and him got sent to the same prison on the same day. And we had been going through the little court dates and all that through the county jails and all that at the same time. So we get to the prison. So naturally, we go through the processing R&D. That's when you go in, you get your clothes. They tell you, okay, they give you a little starter kit with a little bar soap, a toothbrush. They give you your bed sheets. You got to go to laundry, and then you got to go get your clothing and all this type of stuff. So it's late on. We found out where our unit's at, where we're going to be at, and so we go out. This was in October. It was October, so it was still decent outside. So we walk in the yard, and that's, for you don't know, that's the prison yard. Because, you got the units, you got the chow hall, you got the phone room, you got the laundry, it's like the laundromat where you go do your clothes. And then you got the rec yard where you go out there. And this was at Sandstone FCI. FCI stands for Federal Correctional Institution. So you got Sandstone, and then you got the rec yard, and that's where, when you first go in the rec yard, you hit the left, that's the commissary, or if you hit the right, then that's the little water tower where the water system goes through for the whole prison. But anyway, and then you go through another gate, and then that's the prison yard. You got a track, and inside the prison yard is grass, and you got the little handball court. Then you got the bathroom, and then over toward the end, you got the rec yard. Then you got a bocce ball court. You got some bleachers. Of course, you got a little baseball, softball field or whatever. And then, like I said, you got the track. So after evening chow, which is like dinner, everybody go walk the track. A lot of people, they want to burn the calories off. They just got through eating a meal. They want to burn the calories off. So anyway, so me and him, we hit the yard. We go eat, we go hit the yard. So we walk in the yard, and I'm just taking it all in. You seeing dudes hitting the weights, typical prison scenario like on TV. They out there, they hitting the weights, you see some dudes hitting some big weights. You see dudes over there doing, arms, and, you always got that one loner dude that's doing some weird type of exercise, but, you'll come to know that he do that every day, and he might be 80 years old, but he look like he only like 50 or 60, and he's in shape like a mug. But anyway, then you got your occasional people, they running, and I've always been the type that, I know pretty much you mind your business. You don't go in the prison yard, you don't go looking like, dang, what he doing? And you definitely don't point, dang, what he doing? Dang, what they doing over there? So I'm just walking and I'm looking, side to side, I'm peeping it. So as we going around, I peep, it's a outside bathroom, because once you're on the rec yard, they got a 10-minute move. You get 10 minutes to go where you're going. But once you're there, when the clock hits the hour, like 7, 8, 9, whatever, when it hits that hour, everything, wherever you at, is locked down for the next 50 minutes, because you get 10 minutes to move. So if you go there at 7 o'clock is locked down, and you just on the rec yard to 7. Okay. So we going around, we hitting laps. So as we coming around, I notice a Mexican guy. He's by the outside bathroom, and he's in the window. Well, he's not in the window, but it's like, say I'm standing here and there's a window over my head. He's standing by the window, and he's like, you could tell if you got any type of, intuition about the streets, or you in the streets, or just by looking, you could tell he was on point. So he's standing by the window, he looking around and stuff like that. So as we walking, I see another guy go over and talk to him. So he talked to him, and then he posts up by the window, and then the guy that was by the window at first, he walks around. So as we walking around, he like walking around the side of the bathroom. So as we go around, he goes to go in the bathroom. I glance over there, and when he opened the door, I look in, and it's a dude. No BS. Dude is on the wall. His pants is like down to his ankles. And he's on the wall, and he's like, he's like on the wall like this. He's like on the wall like this. You see me? And it's another guy behind him, and his pants is down, and he's just, and dude is just on the wall like, And I'm like, what the hell? And, that I just caught that glance as we was going around. As we happened to be going around, he happened to be going in the bathroom. So he opened the door, and dude was tagging him, busting his cheeks right there on the wall. Dude had his hands up on the wall, and he was taking it. And then when he went in, the other dude came. I guess, they was basically what they was doing is taking turns running the train. So I don't know if dude was getting paid to get his cheeks busted. Dude was maybe paying a debt by getting his cheeks busted. I just saw the three Mexican guys. I said, well, let me clear that up, because you can't judge a book by its cover. 3 Hispanic. They were definitely Hispanic. I don't necessarily know if they were Mexican or, Ecuadorian or whatever, but it was three Hispanics, and they was busting dude cheeks. So when I saw that, and that was the first day, when I saw that, I was like, yep, I'm in prison. It's definitely real now, because, a lot of times it just seems surreal. Like, it's my first time being in trouble, got hit with 151 months. And I'm like, man, this is my first time. And, coming up, I know people that hit the county, they get out, they hit the county, they might hit the joint, do a couple years, get out, do a couple summers, then next thing you know, they back in, in and out, in and out. I've seen that all my life, and I never had a case. And then my first case, I get 151 months. And the feds, the way they do it with the months, oh, man, you got to start doing division, 151 divided by 12. And I'm like, okay, well, 12, quick math, 12 times 10 is 120 months. Damn, I got more than 10 years for my first case. Like, but, you know, it is what it is. So that's my story from the pen. And like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about that story from the pen.